tax government rate. These fields right here, sales and payment information, is automatically calculated by the system. So each time you, let's say you receive an order and you generate one invoice for them, then it will show up how much they purchased, how much they paid for last year. For a new account, most of these are going to be zero because there's no history. But as you have more and more history, these fields will reflect the actual value of that current year. So current balance, year to date, that's year to date. They added, when this company was added to the system. Last payment amount, that's when they last pay, when they last made a payment. Average payment days, that's useful. The system will calculate each time they send a payment in. The system will calculate how the average number of pay days associated with this account, whether they pay on time all the time, or whether they always late, or whether they always pay early. So those are very, of course, it's very important in making decision and in extending credit and so forth, right? Yeah, 30 days, right? When we receive the invoice. So average, we set the term of 30, but it may take them 29 days to pay, or 15 days to pay, or sometimes 45 days to pay. So you say, okay, our term is 30 days, but they're consistently late. So next time you reduce the credit limit, or whatever the case may be, reduce the credit limit, or change the terms to COD and force them to pay on time. Pay, okay? Or put them on hold, or put on more charges, additional charges. Last quote day, last job date, that's when the last job was ordered. Last order. Last quote day is when the last time we quoted this customer. Last ship day is when was the last time we shipped something out to this customer. Last invoice day is when we last billed them. Last payment day is when the last time the customer was sent in the payment. Okay? Day create, revision date, time, and buy cannot be changed. Is it maintained by the system? So when you add a customer, it's automatically do a date time stamp. I mean, there's a mismatch here, but it's probably because this is a demo. It's a demo record, so it has a date time stamp of when it was added to the system, who modified. Let's say if I modify it today, if I go in and change something, it will reflect that, and that's who made the change, when the change was made. So if they need to track back and say, okay, who changed this account, it shows when and who. Cannot be changed. These cannot be changed. Correct. Every time you add a new one, that's a new date timestamp. Customer active and active. If, let's say, the company is out of business, and or if they don't do business with us anymore for after a number of years, then you mark this and say, okay, this account is inactive. This, in other words, if you change this, then behind the scenes, the system will keep track of who flagged this account as inactive. Because keep in mind, this application is used by many people across the network. Okay, and depends on who has the rights to do what. You're not just by default, doesn't mean by default a user doesn't have access to a certain task will not be able to do it. Or accounting. But this feature is for accounting department. You don't want anyone to go in and deactivate a customer, okay? Or anyone for that matter to be able to see this kind of information. I'm going to demonstrate that to you right after this video. This concludes the financial information tab for the customer edit screen.